Welcome to the Mr. Futurist podcast. Thanks for tuning in, and now your host, Dave Holt.
Welcome to the weekly Mr. Futurist show of what's happening in science and technology this week, August 6th, 2017. Last week, a U.S. House committee gave its approval for the Self-Drive Act, a bill that introduces breakthrough legislation in favor of autonomous vehicles. The bill could pass Congress before the end of 2017, ushering in a new era in self-driving technology. In a report published in 2016, the White House estimated that nearly 3.1 million drivers working today could have their jobs lost by automated autonomous vehicles. From the same article, 80 to 100% of nearly 1.7 million driver jobs will be automated. The White House predicts delivery drivers and self-employed drivers for on-demand services like Uber will face total automation as well. The first major U.S. bill on self-driving cars just got House committee approval. The White House also said in an article that they predict that nearly all truck, taxi, and delivery driver jobs will be automated. Mr. Futurist doesn't like to get political and talk about political things, but the truth is, Mr. Futurist thinks that in 2016, there is a lot of distraction in the world, especially during that last presidential election. But the fact is, if the Obama administration, Republicans and Democrats, knew that 3.1 million drivers working today could lose their jobs, and this could affect very quickly 80 to 100% of nearly 1.7 million driver jobs, you would think that they would have done something about this. If you know this is going to happen, then why hasn't the government responded in some way to help these folks that are going to lose these positions? Because some people have been driving their entire lives. That's all they've ever done, to help them to be retrained or to do something. But it seems nothing has happened. This hasn't even been talked about or dealt with. So I'm bringing it up here. This is something that obviously needs to be talked about. And there needs to be some retraining, some other things put into place. I'm just bringing it to your attention. Quantum computing has taken a major step forward. The head of Lukin Group of the Quantum Optics Laboratory at Harvard University, Mikhail Lukin, announced that his team has successfully built a 51-qubit quantum computer. That is something major. If you're interested in what quantum computers do or want to learn more about quantum computing, why not? It's an incredible, amazing thing to learn. Check out the article on Mr. Futurist that I have. The highly anticipated Bitcoin split has finally happened. Bitcoin has split into two. What does this mean? Bitcoin has cloned itself into Bitcoin Cash, a new virtual currency. How will this impact Bitcoin? Well, some experts are saying that it will cause Bitcoin and its new clone to crash and burn eventually, while others are saying that this fork in the road of cryptocurrency will have a short-term negative effect. But if Bitcoin Cash finds its financial audience, long-term it will be okay. Fast forward a few days, barely 48 hours since the Bitcoin clone, Bitcoin Cash, hit the market, it has already surged past other cryptocurrencies to become the third largest cryptocurrency in terms of market capitalization. How the currency will fare over time is still up for debate. An asteroid is headed our way, and NASA will get a chance to test its planetary defense system. We didn't even know they had such a thing. The asteroid, called 2012 TC4, is estimated to safely pass our planet at a distance of about 4,200 miles, so don't head for cover just yet. NASA Observation Campaign lead Michael Kelly said, "This time we're adding in another layer of effort." That's good. Using this asteroid flyby to test the worldwide asteroid detection and tracking network, assessing our capability to work together in response to finding a potential real asteroid threat. Well, obviously, NASA thinks we need something. That's something to ponder right there. Speaking of NASA, are you a physicist that's looking for a job, maybe looking to do something interesting? NASA is looking to hire someone to protect the Earth from aliens. No, I'm not kidding. This position might even pay up to $187K. NASA is looking to hire a planetary protection officer. The NASA posting said, "Planetary protection is concerned with the avoidance of organic, constitute, and biological contamination in human and robotic space exploration. End quote. This is interesting because science is now heavily involved in quantum computing and exploring other dimensional spaces in the multiverse. The real alien threat might not be coming from what we perceive as outer space, but could actually be a power that is embedding itself through inner space into our electronic technology. Sounds a little out there and a lot like science fiction, but I'll be discussing this more in other articles. The hive mind is coming, or maybe we're tapping into something that's already there. According to the Scientific American, the human brain is made of biocircuits with a massive number of interconnecting neurons, about 100 billion of them, and consumes roughly 40 watts of power. Building an equivalent brain with today's most advanced silicon-based digital technology would result in a computer 1 million times heavier that consumes 1 million times more power. That is equivalent to the power consumption of a medium city of over 100,000 homes. Interestingly, there is a trade-off because electrons are much smaller and lighter than sulfur ions. An electron can travel 1 million times faster. So if we build an electronic brain, it would be potentially 1 million times faster, give or take an algorithmic reduction. It would be possible for 1 million robots to share it based on its incredible speed. Intelligence may not be able to be built inside the robot, but there may be a way to accomplish this outside the robot. This is an interesting idea, since science is finding what we call consciousness, which is not yet definable, may be something that originates outside the human brain. If we can find a way to create intelligent machines and connect them to the source of human consciousness, something like a supercomputer that can use the idea of frozen time and connect into past, present, and future consciousness loops, then extract where human memories and programming is stored, the big cosmic hard drive we're looking for, we could put human consciousness using the multiverse and its storage units into machines. Imagine that. Last but certainly not least, Microsoft has just officially listed AI as one of its top priorities, replacing mobile. Or could it be that AI and mobile are somehow merging, and that's the next generation of mobile? Who knows, but I've got a link below to this amazing article. AI is continuing to push further and further as more corporations and some of the most intelligent minds in the world are embracing it. Thanks for joining Mr. Futurist. That's the news for this week. I'll be back next week with more, and I can tell you there's some really, really interesting stuff coming. So thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it.
We appreciate your support for Mr. Futurist and hope you enjoyed our show. Please check out coolkidsliketocode.com. We're helping single mums and single parents to get the life and technical training they need for the future. We can really use your support, so please visit the website and spread the word. Be sure to tune in for our next Mr. Futurist podcast, coming soon.